Hello, ma'am. Deepa ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Premlata madam.
Sir.
Sharad sir, are you there? Sharad sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Oh, just 2 minutes, sir. 1 second.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Madam, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I am here, but you continue. I am in the
Okay,
playground.
sir.
Good evening. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Good
Please
evening, sir.
continue.
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. We will continue.
Session has not yet started.
Sir? Sir, hello, sir. Sharad sir. Shall we start, sir? Premlata madam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Can
ma'am.
we start? I think the speaker will join now.
Okay, then we can go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, the speaker has joined now. Sir, very good evening, Ponram sir. Sir, it's muted, sir.
mute.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, shall we start the session, sir? The students will be joining as and when. So, shall we start, sir? Ponram sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Shall we start now, sir? Shall we start the session, Ponram sir? Sir, am I audible, Ponram sir?
Yes, ma'am. I am audible. Am I audible now? You are audible.
You are audible, sir. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Shall we start the session now, sir?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. We can start.
Yeah, you can start, Dr. Premlata. Yes.
A very good evening to our today's speaker, Ponram sir, Director, Founder of Tejas International. And a very good evening to all the delegates who have joined us. Thank you very much for joining on time. Sir, Ponram sir, I thank our college hierarchies who have supported for this particular session. And we are very thankful to you, Ponram sir, for accepting our invitation in a short span of time. Now, ma'am.
Yes, now I request Dr. Sharad to give the welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in this session, on my story as a successful innovator. I welcome Professor P.M. Padole, Director and Chief Patron, IIC, Dr. Dinesh P. Shankar Reddy, Registrar, NIT Andhra Pradesh, Professor G. R.K. Sastry Sir, Patron, IIC, our guest speaker of this session, Sri Ponram, Founder and Director, Tejas Translational Technologies Limited, Dr. Others, my fellow members of IIC, faculty members, and dear participants. So I welcome you all on this session, which is on my story as a successful innovator. We are grateful to our guest speaker, Sri Ponram, for kindly agreeing to deliver a talk on this session. And as a part of IIC activities, we are organizing this session. And I'm pretty sure that the participants will take a great interest to get insight from our speaker who has a vast experience and knowledge in this subject. So we look forward to your talk, sir. And with this, now I request Dr. Sudarsana Deepa ma'am to give the overview of IIC. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharad sir. Respected Director in Charge, NIT Andhra Pradesh, Professor Pramod M. Padole sir. Registrar in Charge, Dr. Dinesh P. Shankar Reddy sir. Dean Research and Consultancy, IIC Patron, Professor G. Ravikiran Shastri sir. Founder and Director, Tejas Translational Technologies Private Limited, Mr. P.Ponram sir. Faculty members and students. Good evening to one and all gathered in this Google Meet platform and YouTube Live stream platform. As many of us are now aware about NIT Andhra Pradesh, which is said to be the 31st young NIT in India, which was started in the year 2015. And Institution Innovation Council was started in this institute in the year 2018. So this institute has been supporting innovation, incubation, and startup activities by conducting several ideathons, hackathons, and startup competitions to make ideas work for commercialization. And I'm very sure that this session on my story as a successful innovator will also create greater vibrancy among the audience to become future entrepreneurs. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming, for giving us an opportunity to have a session with you. And now I request Dr. Premalata to introduce our speaker of today's session. Over to Premalata. Dr. Premalata? Hello?
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah.
Very good evening to one and all who have joined on this Google Meet platform. I'll be going to give a brief introduction to our today's speaker, P.Ponram sir. P.Ponram sir has very good professional experience, and sir has worked with many startups. In fact, to say a few, sir has founded his Tejas Translational Technologies Private Limited in 2016. The objective of this particular startup was to invent low-cost healthcare products which can reach to poor masses. And sir has worked with many funded projects which were been under by Government of India. A few to name are like NIT Atal Innovation Mission, Atal New India Challenge. It was like 100 lakhs. Duration was 18 months. And another funded project by NIT Aayog was Arise Challenge, which with the project worth of 50 lakhs, and the duration for that particular project was 12 months. And to speak about few more awards or honors which sir has received are like, sir was been a special invitee on part of Indian delegation for India-Italy Technology Summit in 2018. Sir has participated, or he was invited to speak on, like, because that particular session was on best affordable medical inventions. And sir was been awarded with Best Innovation Award in 2017 from Madras Management Association and Cabin Care. And they have presented Padma Shri Kiran Karnik, member, National Innovation Council. Sir was been awarded as a High Achiever Award in 2013 from Anna University Nagarkol campus. Sir was a member for National Council of CFOs, ASCOM. Sir has various patent rights under achievements, or to speak about his calibers. Sir has good patents which are, I'm not speaking much, not providing much details, but one of the finest achievements, a novel device for breast cancer detection was been published, intellectual property right, and a novel system for skin lesion characterization was also been published, and a smart food feeder for stroke or coma or elderly bedridden patients were been published. And sir has done many research experiments, which are the majorly like radiogenomic analysis of breast cancer carcinoma in situ, and analysis of optical wave response over human tissues, These were some of the achievements. There are so many things to speak about, sir. And sir, we are all eagerly waiting for your uh, journey to inspire us and also in order to motivate us. Whatever I have spoken, those are only brief details about sir. Anyhow, we are going to get experience with the sir's session, or sir is going to share his life achievements. Sir, now the floor is open to you, sir. Ponram, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone present here. It was my great privilege and honor to be here to provide my views as a successful innovator or entrepreneur on this webinar conducted by Institutions Innovation Council of National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh. I thank you, one and of you, and also I thank the audience for here to share out my views with you. Okay, so I would like to share a simple presentation. So the presentation is visible now, ma'am.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes. So today we are having a wonderful evening, and we are going to talk about the success story of an innovator from a grassroots level. To begin with, I will give you a small introduction about my personal life. So I think it will be more inspirational to the audience. So I am from a very rural background, from a Kanyakumari district in Tamil Nadu. So it is the southernmost district of India. Okay, my background is my father is a farmer, and I belong to a very remote village, very remote village, and it is surrounded by rubber plantation. So there will be only some 10 to 15 houses in our region, in our village, and we need to walk around 2 kilometers one way to reach our school. So all the peoples from nearby settlements or villages will use walking as the only method to reach our schools, because we cannot go for other mode of transportations like bicycle or two wheeler, because there will be no roads or something like that. When I was studying the school, now it was much developed. Okay, so we need to walk daily 2 hours to reach our school. This is the state of education institutions in our area. Coming to the hospitals, it is further very difficult. So we need to go for very long distance to reach the nearby hospital or the nearby primary health center. To go for a higher treatment, we need to further go for a large hospital. We need to travel at least 15 to 20 kilometers. So this is the background of my village or my environment. So after completing my schooling, I got an opportunity to enroll in a Anna University College. It is a government supported institution, University College of Engineering. There I got the opportunity to study my undergraduate degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering. So I joined there, and after joining, I have started my engineering career here. So the one of the most gift I have got in my life is my teachers. So that I have to thank them for the continuous support in my life, not only for my life, for all the people studying there. They got the continuous support of the teachers. So they motivated, they identified the talent in each and every student and motivated them. So that is the one of the most prestigious thing I got in my life. After completing my undergraduation, I always had the idea of developing new products from the college. In the school itself, I have developed so many exhibition projects and got a district level and state level prizes. After completing schools in college, also I have developed so many products, small products like that. So in our college, there will be so many problems, like the urinal has to be cleaned properly. So we come up with an idea of automatic cleaning of urinal based on the order. or the smell. So I have ordered order sensors from USA, sample sensors. Then I have assembled the kits, and we developed a small system that can detect the urine smell and can flush the toilet. Like that, we did simple ideas, and I am always fond of developing small products. Okay, so after completing my BE, like my fellow students, I have to work in a company. So I have to move to the city that is in Chennai, and I got the opportunity to work in TVS Electronics for a salary of 7,500 rupees per month. So that is a very feeble salary. Way back in 2013, uh, this salary is only can be used to daily life or paying the rent and the daily food. So this is not a much salary. So I also got the opportunity to work in a software company for a much better pay. But I chose the TVS Electronics because it was my core field. So I thought I will be learning more about the my core field. So like I can work here. I started. Meanwhile, I also have to support my family also financially because coming from a poor or economically challenged environment, I need to support my parents also. So this is my financial and background. But at that time also, I have that idea of developing products. So this was a continuous process. It will keep in my mind while at my work. So I worked at TVS Electronics for 12 months, but I could not resist my urge to develop products. So I just came back to again to my hometown, and I am sitting at my home, and I was thinking how we can develop a product like that. Then I went to my college and I spoke with my teachers, my college teachers, and I told them like I want to develop a product. I want to uh, develop new products and market them, and I have so many ideas. Like that, I have told them. Like that, they have encouraged me to develop the products or create new innovations like that. Okay, now I have the passion towards developing products, but I had so many ideas in my mind what to develop, which one to develop. Like that, I had so many ideas. At first, I am in the process of developing a electric rat bait machine. So in our area, the rats are very nuisance, and they will cost very high damage to the agriculture producers or rubber producers. So very rats are very nuisance ones, and so I came up with an idea of catching rats. So I started working on the that project. So I could just use the internet through my mobile phone and search some ideas and develop on circuits. In that way, I am moving. Uh, am I audible? Am I audible, ma'am?
Ponram sir, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. My presentation is also viewing, right?
It is visible, sir.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for.
So,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
yeah,
You can go ahead.
yeah. Okay, like that, my life is moving. So the first one day, my in that way I am moving. So like in that way, one day my mother got sick. So I need to take her to hospital. So I just arranged the vehicle and take her to hospital. She was having a high diabetes suddenly, a peak of diabetes, and she needed to be treated. So we went to the town hospital. It took 10 to 20 kilometers. Then we admitted her. After admitting the hospital, the doctor told we nothing have to worry. We just have to put an IV injection. Once we put that injection, we will be all right. So this is the first turning point of leasing up or that identifying the problem of my key product. Okay, so here I will correlate it with getting on track. So for every innovator, they will be having the passion to innovate or the passion to be an entrepreneur. But getting on the track means wherever they are working or wherever they are providing the service to the contribution. Maybe they were in some software field or working in an IT company or an MNC company, or they are trying for a government job. They have to be on come back to the track to innovate on entrepreneur. So this is the first thing we need to in life. So this is like taking a small risk, because we are venturing into an unknown. We don't know what will happen, whether our product will succeed. So the first phase of to be an successful innovator is to be on track. What track is to be on the track of innovation? So that's what I am telling here. So here I will say after getting to the track, and we need an idea to that idea has to be a key idea that we can develop. Okay, so we need a problem to solve. Only if we are able to get a problem, then we can able to solve it. Okay, so in my personal life, while I am going to the hospital, my mother was admitted. A doctor told like she need to administer with an IV, and they were pricking the IV injection, but they were not able to get the vein on her hand. So they tried again. Once again they have tried, but they were not able to, because she is already in very low BP. So her pulse is very low. Sorry, pulse is very low. So when her pulse is very low, the blood flow will be normally low. So it is she is obese also. So it is somewhat problematic to find the vein. So the doctors, sorry, the nurses were trying again and again. They were pricking like 4 or 5 times. They have pricked my mother's hand, and after 4 or 5 times, they have called the senior nurse and to assist them. The senior nurse was also busy by taking care of further emergency patients. She was in a casualty ward, so she will come and he has successfully inserted the IV injection, and they have provided some saline solution, and my mother got okay. Then after she came to normal state, doctor examined her and told nothing to worry. This was just a peak of diabetes, and she asked to take the tablets regularly. Then casually, I had a conversation with the doctor. Doctor, the problem is okay. The disease is okay. We will take care of the tablets. But whether any other options available to provide the IV injection instantly, because my mother is an diabetic patient, it is not a big worry. They can try 4 or 5 times. For example, some persons who had hit by an vehicle or had an accident, who need to be saved immediately, if we are trying 4 or 5 times, it will cause additional pain. Also, it will be time consuming, you to find the way. So whether there is any other method, doctor, like I told, ask them. Doctor told, no, it has come from the experience. The experienced nurses will be able to get it on hand, but it is hard to find experienced or skilled nurses, like that he told. Then again, I asked him whether there is any device or instrument available to administer IV. He told no, there is no such devices, but there is one laser Doppler velocity meter is there. It can find the vein, and it can find the blood flow. What is the velocity? Like that, that device will be able to find. But the cost of the machine is somewhat costly. It will cost not more than 1 lakh rupees. So it will be in only major hospitals and will be used only during emergency. And another one way of administrating IV in case of emergencies is taking off a layer of skin from the arm and then administrating it. So now I understand that this is a key problem in this sector. So this problem stuck in my mind immediately. Okay, after returning my home, and I started thinking on this problem. Okay, so there is a problem here. So people are finding it difficult to administer vein. So what if we can develop a product that should be very low cost one, because so many inventors are there, so many entrepreneurs are there. They are developing more products, but they were one or another way somewhat costly. So the some part of the society is able to afford it, but the most 80% of the society is not able to afford any inventions. So my question is to develop a low cost and affordable wayfinder that can be used by even a very small poor village setup hospital or primary health center. So this is the way how I got my problem. So this is the problem I had to solve. So this emotionally I had a connection with the problem, because I seen the pain of my mother. Like that, other patients also will be suffering while taking the IV injection. Then idea formation. So while we are entering the innovation or entrepreneurship journey, we are seeing for problems, and after getting a problem to solve, we need to form an idea. So this is a very simple step, because once we get a problem, we will be getting the idea immediately. So the idea, in the sense, it should able to tackle the problem technically as well as financially. So here the financial constraint is, my idea is to provide a very low cost device. So that is the one constraint I had in my invention. So if I am not having that constraint, I can develop complex devices like laser projection based devices. Now they are available commercially. Like that we can develop, but that will not serve the purpose. It can be useful for 20% of the society, but the remaining 80% of the society will inaccessible to this. So then thinking about the viability. So I got a problem, I got an idea to solve. So I am thinking whether we can make it technically, or whether I have the expertise, whether I have the support system around me, and whether I have the financial background. So these are the three main problems in my mind. So again, the next day, I am going back to my mentor. I am telling them that, sir, I got another problem, and I think I can skip the RAT project for the time being and start working with this IV project. So I think this has to be solved immediately, so it can solve the pain of many people. Okay, they are also impressed my idea, and they encouraged me to come up with a prototype. So this is the one of the first thing I ended. But during that time, I had no financial support. I had no big background like that. I had just a problem and an idea. So the next thing I was thinking was whether we can change the existing product to a low cost one, or we need to develop a entire new product, or we can produce a new solution like training the nurses, whether we can train them in that ways. Like I have thinking. So people entering into the innovation phase also has to brainstorm their ideas, whether they can change the already available to an enhanced version. Because when we already have a solution to our problem, if we are able to little bit modify it and enhance it, it will be useful, because we don't have to invent the cart and wheel again. So we can just modify it and serve the purpose. Or whether there is no other option available, we can go for the developing a entirely new innovative product like that. So in my purpose also, I am thinking about how I can solve my problem. Okay, then after brainstorming my idea, I was thinking about the viability of developing my product. So that time we did not had much access to the internet in a remote setting. So we can search some online forums or online sites about the availability of other devices or competitors like Wayfinder devices. So like that, I also did some minor searches in the internet, and I spoke to more than 20 to 30 doctors around in my district, individual case to case. I will wait for them and will talk to them whether any idea available with them like that, and they will provide their view. Like yes, it is very need of the hour like that. They will tell, and I will reading about some literature from existing literature like that, and I got so many ideas from the literature. But to openly tell, they were very costly affairs. So if I am developing any one of them, that is going to be very costly. So in that way, my innovation or my entrepreneur journey was starting. So I had so many ideas, but technically I have not started anyone. But this is a groundbreaking twist on my journey. So after thinking about my viability, I come up with the first prototype. See, this first prototype I have developed was only around 100 rupees cost. In under 100 rupees cost, I have developed the first prototype. So, like a simple school project, I have used the carton board and locally available remote batteries and circuits I have developed a small, simple transeliminator-based vein finder. After developing it, I started talking again. Went to my mentors and I told them I have developed a small working prototype in which they can see the vein as a trans-eliminated thing. The basic principle is I adopted is the blood vessels carrying blood will absorb a particular wavelength of light, leaving the surrounding tissues which are having less blood and for allows a shadow over the vein. So this is the basic principle of my device. So I developed a first prototype and I started talking with my friends how I can take it forward. So they encouraged me and I talked to my relatives, friends of friends, unknown peoples like my about my product. Most of them encouraged and they provided the views. But I don't know where to make it to the next level. So again, I have approached my mentors. Through them, I got a very solid guidance and support to make the product to the next level. So now I left my job. That even though it is a low-paying job, it is very useful to my and my family. I left there, and I already having a family to support, and myself I need to get support. I don't have any financial background. Now I have a small prototype, and I am taking it to one and two doctors. They were just trying it like that. My innovation journey is starting. And another day, I am traveling from Nagarkoil to Trivandrum. It is a nearby city. It is the capital of Kerala. In Trivandrum, we have a Trivandrum Medical College and a Regional Cancer Center, Trivandrum. There, I got one doctor through my faculty member. There is one doctor, Dr. Sabari, and I went to meet him with the first prototype. So it was fine evening after 4 o'clock. He was very busy in attending emergency patients in the casualty department. So he asked me to wait there. So I was waiting for him. And in between, he could come and ask me what is the purpose of my meeting. I will explain him. Like I come up with a small prototype of a low-cost vein identifier. It will be useful for trauma situations or low BP situations to identify vein on obese or dark patients. Like that, I have explained. After my explanation, he got very excited. He's an very senior doctor. He's an associate professor level doctor, and he's also the head of the department of orthopedic department. He got very excited. See, after seeing my device, he could call all his scholars, his students and resident doctors. All of them were attending many patients. He immediately called all the students and demonstrated him like a very excited person. See how this very simple device is working. This will be very useful for us. In that way, he was explaining about my innovation. Very moment, I got very excited and thrilled about my product, because till that moment, I was very sad and I don't know. I'm very confused. I don't know what is the purpose of the developing or like that. That moment changed my life. I got a plenty of motivation through his action. He could demonstrate the device to the students, and at that time there was one lady. She was very obese lady. She was hit by a train in a Trivandrum railway station. When she was standing, she was hit by a train, and her one of her leg was amputated. So she's being taken to the hospital, and the nurses are rushing to administer IV, but they could not find her vein because she is already obese, and due to the traumas, her BP is very low. So the doctor could tell me, can you identify the vein now? Because my device is a non-invasive device. It don't have to touch the patient surface. Also it is non-radiating one. So they immediately asked me to demonstrate the device. So within seconds, my device is able to locate the vein in her thigh, because they need to administer that fluid to her thigh at that time. So I identified that thigh. So immediately they administered the IV and they started the further procedures. This is the first point my device able to help a patient. At that time, Dr. Sabri could ask me whether he can provide me with that prototype. I told him, Doctor, I will develop it with a more handleable one and I will provide to you. Because that time, the product I was developing was like a little child toys. So it is not usable much. I know that because due to the financial constraints, I am not able to use give to them develop further. He was very impressed and told that if he need any financial support, he is able to give. Like that, he told. Further, he went and told his colleagues, and more than 3 to 4 of his colleagues also ready to support my invention. So I told them, Doctor, if I need any support, I will ask them. I was somewhat hesitant to seek their support. Then I came back to home. Again, I am going to talk with my mentor, and I told them, like, sir, I have developed this prototype, and I need to make it as an usable prototype. We don't know the technical terms like alpha prototype, beta prototype at that time. So in layman language, I was telling to my faculty member immediately from the institution, they were able to provide me a fund of 10,000 rupees. They allotted me 10,000 rupees from their pocket. I sincerely remember Dr. K.P. Vinod Kumar sir and Dr. Anistisha Nayan sir, who have supported me at that time. From that time also, they are providing continuous support. So then I have started working on the actual technical designs. So I had my government given laptop. So used my laptop and I studied ANSYS and I developed a case. I designed my prototype. I made a 3D design of it. And then I went to the CIPET, Central Institute of Plastics Engineering and Technology. That time, we had only 3D prototyping at 1 or 2 premier institutions. Now, I would proudly say that even my startup has 3 more advanced 3D prototyping machines working. So we are using that. But at that time, I have to go for a CIPET and I have to pay some amount to get my prototype printed. So the faculty from there also very supportive. So they were also a research institution. They have provided immense support and provided me a lot of guidance how to be a design and how in which points I need to care. Like that, they have supported me and provided me the first prototype. Then after getting the external case, I have assembled the internal electronics assembly and I made the first product. So it is also working nice. So then I have made 2 more products. So totally I made 3 products. And again, I went to Regional Cancer Center at Trivandrum, in Trivandrum Medical College, and I have approached a lot of doctors and given them, they have tried and tested and gave us the feedback, 1 or more feedback. I have augmented them in my design also. So now I have made the breakthrough, and these people are willing to buy my device, even if I hesitated their financial support, they wanted to buy that device for a much amount. For I will say that at that time they told me I will give you 20,000 rupees for a product. You can sell it to us, like that they told. So I sold my 2 of my devices there, and I kept one of the devices with myself. So that moment I got generated the fund required for going to the next level. So the next level is commercialization phase. So now I have going to the further thing. I will tell in this stage. I assessed 3 risks: one financial risk, again then personal risk, and third one is technical problem. Coming to the technical problem, anyway we are going to solve because we are engineers and we already have a precedence of great minds, engineers, scientists working in many fields, and so we will able to solve any technical problem that we can sound the experience. But coming to the financial and personal risks, each and every innovator and entrepreneur must have very good assessment of the risk, even though they have no plan of mitigation of these risks. Understanding these risks, for example, I am going to leave my job and I will not get salary for the next 6 months, so I will be having a small trouble. So this type of small mindset will boost up a lot in our sufferings, because when we are venturing into the innovation or entrepreneurship, we are experiencing an unknown, because when you are selling a known product, there is no risk. But when you are selling a new product, the customers, the market is entirely new. So we should assess these risks before starting our venture. So these risks should not afraid us or should not refrain us from moving forward, but it should be in our mind. When I am going to do this, I will get these risks. So I should understand this. So these are the 3 points I need to give at this time. The second thing is, after getting our idea or prototyping, we need to talk with a lot of people, because a lot of people will have a lot of experience. Especially you should, because in my invention, as I already told, one of my mentor is from the chemistry field, and another one mentor is from arts and science background, and myself from an engineering background. So like this, we need to have a basket of experience, because we each people will be having each type of experience. When you are forming a team as an innovation, you should also has a very diverse team. So a diverse team will achieve a lot. Also, we should talk with experts from multiple fields and people with prior domain knowledge, because even though without speaking to multiple field experts or guides, we will be able to achieve, but it will take a lot of time. For example, if you are going to read a book, it will take 4 to 5 days. But if you are going to speak with a teacher, he will explain everything in the book to you within 20 minutes. So this is the concept of transformation of knowledge. So mentors and experts are very valuable persons. So we need to talk to them and get their guidance, because every people will provide as much guidance available to them. Without wasting our time in researching or going for unknown methods, we can simply talk to an expert or mentor and get everything work easily. The next thing is, we need to plan very properly. So when we are an innovator, everything is very important. Why I am telling right everything means, I have developed a prototype. Then I will talk about my commercialization phase. That I faced a lot of challenges, because for example, we will design a particular screw. For example, a small screw size for 1.3 mm dia screw I am using means, I have to plan it whether this screw will be having supply throughout the life cycle. For example, if I am using a particular company screw and I have designed my product and I have made the injection molding die, which will cost more than lakhs of rupees. After making the bulk production, if the particular company stop producing the screw means, my entire design is waste. Like that, each and every component has to be planned properly, and the inventory, all the raw materials to be used in our design has to be planned properly. So we need to write everything properly, because even a small detail will help us a lot. While working with our design, sometimes I will facing heating problem in our circuits. Maybe it is due to the same ampere of battery or capacity battery we will be using, but it will be of another brand. So these type of small problems will take a lot of time from us. So we will be unwantedly wasting our time. But while we writing or recording everything properly in an innovation, even though our failed experiment has to be written properly. So first I am making a design and working on it. It is not working. I have to record it, so that only it will be very proper and our innovation will work properly. Then timeline. So this is the most important thing I have found in my life useful. I will make timelines. Within these days, I need to achieve this thing. If I am not able to achieve this thing, I need to change the plan. So I am not afraid of changing the plans. I am very dynamic in that point. So making goal post, this is also aligned with the timelines. So we need to take goal post oriented timeline approach and assign works. When we are working as a team, we should assign works to our team members and to ourselves also. So what type of works we need to done, like that we need to work. Then reviewing. So after getting an idea and assigning works, we need to work towards our goal. So if we, after every time, we need to review it periodically. And if we are facing any problem, we can talk to our mentor. If we are not facing a problem, we are making a very success, we can also share it with our people around us, because it will give us a boost, immense energy. So if anything is not going correct, we can replan and reassign the works. So these are the major pathways of an journey of an innovator. So I am coming to the next page, the technology breakthrough. So we are working on a product and we are having a breakthrough when the product first works. So many people will enjoy this moment when we are achieving a technology breakthrough, or when we are able to provide a technology solution to an unknown problem. It is a very immense pleasure for the innovator. So whether it will solve the problem, yes, surely it will solve the problem for the society. But again, we are having another one big valley, which is the commercialization phase. So the commercialization on marketing is an entirely complicated and very important things we need to take care of while planning our innovation, because these spaces are found to be more important than our initial phases like R&D or innovation or prototyping or product development. Because from commercialization, you will make your product to be scalable. What is scalable? Scalable means making a number of products to multiple units, so that it can be sold to multiple customers. So we will achieve the technology breakthrough at the first point, when we are developing our first alpha prototype, and we will test it, and then we will develop beta prototypes, and again we will test it, and we will fine tune it. So in this way, we will make a technology breakthrough. Then, okay, so I am an innovator and I have one product, a vein finder. So I have made the first prototype. I went to the doctors and I have developed the product which is commercial ready also. So now I have some fund, and from fund I have developed a injection molding die for my product, and I have designed the commercialable product design, and then I went for the bulk production also. So we made the bulk production and we started assembly, and we had 2 or 3 people, my friends, supporting me in the assembly and testing unit. So we could in hand we will solder the circuits, and we will assemble the things, and we will make the prototypes. And now comes the next part, that is the commercial part. So here, while developing the vein finder, before developing and after developing, I had so many further ideas also. That ideas could number more than 5 or 10 ideas I had. But still, I am not completed one product development. It is still waiting for the market. But at the same time, I had so many ideas that can solve the technical problems or healthcare society or agriculture society. So these ideas for developing, I need further money. So what I thought was, if I am going to an angel investment or venture funding, I cannot get the freedom to work. This is my way of thinking. So surely they will come in, and we need to go to their taste of work, because I had so many ideas. My basic purpose is to develop so many innovative products, as I already told. So I had the passion for that. So I thought I could market this particular product, and I could generate the revenue and use that revenue to develop further products. This is my mode of operation. So the first vein finder product I launched into the market for a minimum profit. The entire product cost at that time was 1,500 rupees only. So this can be used bought by even a small clinic in a remote village. So I made it in e-commerce websites, and we sold to directly. We avoided the distribution channel, because when I am going to the distribution channel, it will further add up the cost. So I could call the potential customers directly, email them, and I could go the nearby towns, Trivandrum or Cochin or Chennai, Trichy, Madurai. In Nagarjuna itself, we had so many individual clinics in the town. So Coimbatore, it is another one major hub. Bangalore is another hub for hospitals. And I could go to the remote areas and towns, everywhere I could go and sell my device. But the problem is the demand is more, the supply is very less. I am not able to develop more products, because our assembly is very time taking and complicated, and we did not had that human resource at that time. But due to the higher sales of our devices at that initial stage, we could be able to afford more human resources, and we speed up our assembly line, and we generated a lot of revenue from that. That revenue was used to propel our another ideas. So that's what I am mentioning here, ideas 1 to n. We may have be having so many ideas as an innovator. So in my life, I have prioritized that idea, which ideas are important, which one we need to first develop. We can prototype and test and trial and make it to the market. Like that, I have prioritized, and I have used that funding I got from the previous product to fuel the next ideas. So in that way, I developed the next product, quality of compost device. So that was also developed and prototype was ready. It was able to identify the fertility of the soil at an instant click of a button. So it is useful to the farmers. And another one product was a smart onion storage system. So it is a very low cost system that can be affordable to a normal farmer also. So that also I have developed a prototype. Then I have developed a pediatric devices, because when I am going to the market, the doctors could tell we need pediatric wayfinders, because adult more than adult people's pediatrics had more sufferings. So I have developed a pediatric version of wayfinder. After developing a pediatric wayfinder, I developed the neonatal wayfinders. The same concept, using a different intensity and different design, I came up with 4 type of wayfinders. So in that way, I had 4 products in the market, where all the wayfinders in the market generating the revenue, and 2 prototypes. But for these 2 prototypes, I lacked money. So again, I kept them in the our R&D room and went for developing the third idea. The lung disease, lung lesion characterization system, that is on AA based system. There comes the support of the society, I will say. At that time, the government of India has launched a breakthrough a challenge, Atal New India Challenge by NIT Aayog, and they have posted some 24 challenges. Matchingly, one of our prototype, the quality of compost system, was solution to their problems. So I applied for the funding, and I went for the pitching, and they had so many rounds of technical assessments and discussion, and they selected our solution as their solution to their problem, and they have funded for the commercialization of that product 100 lakh rupees. Like that, within next 6 months, we will be able to provide one of our prototype was a solution to Atal New in the challenge. Another one grand problem, onion storage system. Because how I have already developed a prototype, the government is launching a challenge. How it is matching? Because the first instant itself, I am looking for the problem from the society. I am just looking for the problem. See, my uncle is an onion farmer. He could produce onions, but he could not afford a much cost. At that time, onion price will be very lower. But after 3 months, the onion price will shoot up. Even it will shake governments, the onion prices. So I got the problem, and I thought I could provide a solution and started developing a prototype. Like that also, from my uncle's field, they would use many fertilizer, much amount of fertilizer. I could ask him why this much fertilizer is used, but still the production is very low. The rice harvest is very low. But he could tell, no, there is climate, water, like that he will tell. But I did a very small research, not much research, a little research, and I found that overuse of fertilizer is also not good for crops. But most of the farmers don't know. They don't know that. They are having a fixed formula. For 1 acre land means we must use these bags of fertilizer. They don't know whether their field is already having enough nitrogen or having much nitrogen. So I thought the over having of the over nitrogen also not good for production, because over use of nitrogen will give a very green and lushy crops, but they will not yield. They will not give the fruits. So precise use of fertilizer will be useful. So I went for the problem. Then I told that the existing soil testing facility is also somewhat hard. We need to take the soil sample and we need to give it to the lab. And for that also, they will take the sample from a corner of the field, which will be again and again plowed. And we don't know in which part, which soil is having the nitrogen. So my idea is to have the instant reading of the nitrogen level or the fertility of the soil on a click of the button. So these the societal problems. Luckily, the government also looking for the societal problems. What are the problems of the society is having? Like that, my already known prototypes are matching with the government's grand challenge, and we able to be a winner of the grand challenge and received further funding. So we got a very financial breakthrough. So I am telling about commercialization phase. Here we need, we already made a market ready product and we are producing it, scaling it. And for raw materials, we are procuring and we are commercially selling. So when we are telling a product will be a commercially working product, when your product is able to generate a revenue, overcoming its capital cost, labor cost, that time we will tell a financial breakthrough. Like that, my product, my first adult wayfinder, the second adult and pediatric 2-in-1 wayfinder, and again the pediatric alone wayfinder, and again the neonatal and antenatal wayfinder. Everything is able to made a financial breakthrough over the coming days. So I could get a sum of amount as my monthly salary. I will take the remaining amount. I am giving to the innovation engine. What is innovation engine? I am generating a fund from one product and I am giving this revenue to develop another product. Like that, my innovation engine is working. So here we will be having a scalable product. We are having an input material and a labor, and we are getting a financial gain, and we are using that gain to give shape to the next idea. So this is how I have achieved. I am able to give birth to my ideas or concepts, whatever I am thinking as a solution that can be useful to the society. I am able to sustainably, without much support from private investors, from government investor alone, and from my own amount. Even if I am not able to get the commercialization amount from the ANIC or Atal New Year Challenge, my product may not be able to reach the commercialization in time because it is in prototype phase. I did not make it commercially available, but I am waiting for that. At that time, I got the funding. I am thankful to them also. So then, to achieve this, to financial breakthrough or technology breakthrough, are the two major steps for an entrepreneur or innovator. So this will provide a lot of motivation to make our innovation to the next level or produce more and more things. So I have applied for more than 7 to 10 patents, and most of them are very cost producing patents. So many companies also approached us to seeking our patents at the ideation stage itself, because most of our patents are filed and published, even waiting for the grant. Even this stage itself, companies are approaching, and major companies are approaching for acquiring our company. And but my passion is, and our passion is, to develop low-cost product. I know when we are selling off our startup to another one company at this stage, surely that will cut the passion of developing low-cost products. So still I am keeping this vision and developing more products. Now our startup is employed more than 8 to 9 persons directly, and we are employing more people indirectly, like our sales personals and our technical personnel, support personals. They are also working with us. And I would proudly tell that I have provided a product to the society, and it supported me and my startup in a larger way. And again, I am giving back to the society by means of producing more products. So now our entire focus is on two sectors. One is the healthcare sector, and another is the agriculture sector, because these are the two sectors that need immediate attention in India, because we have a population of more than 70% living in the agriculture area. We need to support our farmers. So I kindly request my brothers and sisters, my budding entrepreneurs or engineers, my dear academicians, to develop low cost and affordable healthcare and agriculture products that will be useful to our society. And I will tell that, as I already told, I am from a very simple background with no financial support, only with only capital I had was and my passion, my idea, and the faculty mentor support from the institution I have studied. But now the things were changed a lot. We have a lot of funding. Even if you are not going for angel investment or venture funding, we have a lot of government funding. Each and every state government is funding a lot for specific invention. They are funding for healthcare. They are funding for artificial intelligence. They are funding for electric mobility. Like that, they are having so much of funding on specialization and sector specific funding. I request you to make use of all these opportunities and give shape to your ideas. Do not hesitate. Don't hesitate, because just think that a simple guy from a rural background with no sound financial backup or not have a much technical skill at the initial level capital is able to generate. And now I want to tell, I have more than sound products in the market, and we have machineries for support our R&D worth 120 lakhs. We have sophisticated machines like rapid prototyping machines, UVVA spectrophotometer machines. Even we have our own electronic automator assembly line. We have our pick and place machine. We have our oven, refloor oven, automatic electronic oven. We have our own injection molding machine, and like that, we have all the facilities to develop a new product on our own. Also, we have own facilities to commercialize it in the early stages. We need to. My startup has to go for outside agencies to prototype, to design, to make the injection molding production, everything. But now, from zero, we have achieved the level of self-sustainability. Like we are able to make everything from the revenue we have generated from our own startup, like our ideas, our intellectual properties, everything helped us. So this is the way we worked. And I also happy to share one thing. The government of India has selected some 50 persons from India to give advanced electronic system devices training in Taiwan in the month of January 2023. So I am also one of the selected person by the government of India to get training on that. So I will give a small hint. The India is currently lacking semiconductor space. So we are not having any semiconductor fabrication units. From my knowledge, it is not a very difficult task to do, because the semiconductor fabrication and the semiconductor further processing are very simple steps. Even if we are able to read some literatures, we will be able to make it. So many small companies in Singapore and Malaysia now ventured into this field. So if you are really interested in developing your semiconductor startup, now the government has allocated so much of fund. I think more than 7,000 crores they have earmarked. They will also provide a product linked incentive. So you don't think whether we will be able to start a semiconductor industry. It is only for big company, big giants like Tata or Reliance, not like that. Even a small startup will be able to do that. I am also in that process in developing a semiconductor startup, another one startup. So I just wanted to share that. So I am inspiring. I am telling you to also see this way. If you are able to develop a semiconductor, not a design industry, because design is very one everybody is having. We need to create products. We need to fabricate products. We need to manufacture products. Then only India will become a superpower. Our peoples will be able to use these products. Now we are going for other nations to buy chips. So our cars, electric buses, everything is costly. But when we are able to make these chips on our own, it will be useful for us. So like that I request every one of you to avoid your assistance in starting your startup or innovation journey, and you should start so that it will be useful for many of the people in the society. Okay, so then we are coming to the end of the session. So I am giving simple, very six key points. One is very be confident to make your innovation work. It is very simple thing. You can able make your innovation work. You should have the confidence for that. You should not hesitate and understand the risks. What are the risks you are having in front of you? Financial risks, personal risks. You understand it, and if possible, make plans for them. If not possible, your understanding the risk will also help a lot. And the third point is never give up, because at the initial phase we will come across so many problems. But if you are giving up, means that will spoil our journey. We should not give up. We should give a consistent effort. When you are giving our consistent effort, it will surely give us fruits. So the fourth point is be dynamic. You should be very dynamic in your decision. We should be very dynamic in your action. It will make your product speak well. And the next point is put your company first. Here I am. What I am saying as company means the aim, the passion or curiosity that you have in mind. In my case, providing affordable solution is the my company. So this is for what I have created my company. So I am making it first. So if I am having, I want to earn more money, so I should make a bigger margin. I can earn money like that. Everyone should have a motive, and we should give that motive the first. And another one thing is estimate the risk. Already I told we need to understand the risk. Also, along with understanding the risk, we need to estimate or quantify the risk. How much amount we will be attacking, or how much time we will require. Like that, we need to quantify it. So when we are quantifying it, it will give more confidence when we are facing the risk. So thank you everyone for being patient for the last 1 hour and attending to my discussion. And now we are opening this session to questions, the feedbacks, and I am happy to provide answers to your questions now.
Premlata, did you submit the feedback? Did you submit?
Now I'm sharing, ma'am.
Yeah. Audience, please share your feedbacks at the earliest.
Ma'am?
The session is open for questions. Any questions?
Respected delegates, now the session is open. I think here we have faculties and students too. So please interact with the sir, whatever sir has. Sir, in fact, thank you very much. It was a very nice session. So I request our student participants to kindly clarify your doubts, because sir has a very good journey as an innovator. So sir is a live example for us, who is in front of us. So whatever questions you have in lifetime when you want to
I
become
think Mr. Lakshma Reddy has raised. Yeah, you can ask your question now. Please unmute your mic and speak.
Any questions, audience?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. It's a nice session for new entrepreneurs, those who are interested to establish new business branches, whatever maybe. Really, a good session for us, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Low cost, you given good examples how to produce low cost products and how to serve them to people. Excellent,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, your team members and all. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, sir, I have few questions. Single question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, really, what was your condition when, since you don't have that much of finance also to start your own startup? Fine, sir. So, how did you balance your phase during that particular time period? Did you ever came across a particular question to leave some of your innovative ideas?
Yeah, actually, the initial time, as I already told, I had no financial backup, no money. So I need to support my parents also. I am getting constant financial pressure from my family side to go for an corporate job because that is the situation at that time. So how I faced was uh, uh, I'm not able to support them at that time for the 2 3 months. 2 to 3 months, I had confidence on my idea. I repeatedly told them give me some time, like 6 month time, and you have waited for this much years. So I am just asking for some 6 more months time. So within that 6 months time, I will be able to financially support by God's grace and my mentor supports. I will be able to make the financial breakthrough in 3 to 4 months itself. Because if this financial pressure is not on me, maybe it might have taken further more period on my first innovation. Maybe it might have taken 1 year or 2 years. I will tell this challenge again supported me to make my first products within a very short span of time. Like that, really, because I had that pressure. If I am not developing my product within 6 months, I have to go for another one job. So that pressure again helped me to make the first product in a very short span of time.
So, can we say like there should be a fire in our belly to be successful as a innovator?
Yes, we will be having that passion, that curiosity to the urge to develop product. Many of us will have, most of us will have, but the circumstances and the pressures, we are not giving much importance to that. I request everyone of you to give importance to that urge or the passion, because as a human, everybody will be having that curiosity to develop, create new products, not in technical field, in any other field. For example, a cook or a normal person will have the curiosity to develop a new dish. Like that, everyone will be having the curiosity. The thing is, we need to give an importance to it by subliming other pressures. Then only that will make this mankind a leap ahead. Like that, I am thinking.
Sir, your journey was so inspiring for us. I don't know really how many of them got attracted and got to know about various contextual issues which we may encounter or we may need to overcome after listening to your session.
Yes.
It was so interesting and inspiring and motivating too. Rather than going to a heat and facing heat, if someone has experienced already and someone is ready to share their story, that is an interesting part for us. That is the reason we have organized this particular session.
Thank you.
Sir, we are ready to give you a formal vote of thanks. A small announcement. I request the audience to please give their feedback. Deepa ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, Premlat.
Ma'am, can I go for formal
Yeah,
vote of thanks?
yeah, you can carry on. Yeah.
With all your due consent, like I'm ready to go give my formal vote of thanks. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks for today's session. I would like to thank the delegates or the participants for their valuable presence. Though it was their personal time, I thank them in participating in the session by sacrificing their personal time. I'm also thankful to our invited speaker, though it is a hectic schedule for sir. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey my deep regards and the hearty thanks to our Honorable Director, Professor Pramod Padale, sir, Dean RNC, Professor Ravi Kiran Sastri, sir, IIC President Dr. V. Sudarshana Deepa, Coordinator IIC President, Coordinator of IIC Dr. Sharad Dwivedi, and all our IIC members, teaching staff and non-teaching staff. I'm also thankful to NIT AP Web and Networking team for the technical support. It would not have been possible for us to organize this without their support. Last but not the least, The delegates, you are all the important assets for our today's event. A team of you are our greatest assets. Without you, this event was not possible. I thank everyone who have given their time for our session, and I request all the audience to give their feedbacks so that this will be like an encouraging environment for us to further organize an interesting events like this. Thank you very much, Ponram sir. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. Thank you, Sharad sir. I thank all the audience for their time. Thank you all. Deepa ma'am.
Yes, yes. Now the audience can leave the session. Thank you very much, Ponram sir. We are highly privileged to have your talk today. So thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to invite you and also responding for our invitation, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. You can leave the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful opportunity for me to share my views. Thank you.
We request the participants to give their feedback and leave the session.